0822 here. We are going to get into den time with the Panther. First, I've got the maintenance stuff to take care of. Enjoy the music on the slideshow, and I'll be right back. Hero. Alrighty, thank you very much for your patience while I got the maintenance stuff taken care of. So today overall was actually a pretty productive day. I was able to get a couple of streams out. I was able to get some Star Wars Rebellion out, which got flagged, which I'm not surprised, but we got some of that out, and then we also got a little bit of Warframe out, and we tried 2 different missions and ended up failing both spectacularly, but we gave it a shot and we had a lot of fun doing it, so that's the important thing. And then I did just a recording today of the end part of Dragon Age Inquisition. So I finished editing that. You guys have the unedited version. As of right now, because I just published it. So as soon as you're done watching this, you can go and check that out. I will have basically the edited version. The edited version is, I mean, it's a bit shorter is what it is. So that's not what I want. The edited version is about 49-ish minutes, I want to say, about that. I ended up shaving quite a bit of it off. Come on. Gotta get into something so I can just make sure of a few things here and there, but anyway, no, we're not gonna watch this in shit quality. We're going to watch this in good quality because that's what we deserve. We deserve good quality. So, and I'd like to be able to see the chats here. No, 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 no. I want Video Manager. Video Manager for us. So, and then later on, I had a friend of mine, he hit a bit of a transportation issue. I'm going to end up having to pay for a lift to and from my MRI tomorrow because I don't have anybody who can provide me a ride. Unfortunately, I wish they could, but they are dealing with their own transportation issues of their own. So, so yeah. And then I forgot to actually let you guys know something. I had a really good friend of mine, who I haven't seen in 10-ish some odd years. It's been a while. Come over and hang out for a little bit. His name's Jeremiah. He's a fantastic friend. I've known him for years. And it was really nice. He just happened to be in town. He's got his own transportation issues and things like that, but he just happened to be in town a couple days ago and wanted to come over and hang out for a bit. So he did, and it was really awesome to see him. So anyways, this evening we went over and hung out with our friend Dan, and we played some Munchkins, and overall it was a decent evening. But his son decided to be a little vindictive towards me, and didn't really appreciate it, and I did say something about it. But other than that, it was really good. It was a good night. Had a lot of fun playing a game with some good friends, and it was a really good, really good. We'll end up playing some D&D or Pathfinder with him Thursday. Which reminds me, we will be doing our weekly Pathfinder game tomorrow evening. We're trying to get it to where we're starting at a regular time. I want to say we're trying to start at around 6 or 7 is what I want to say, but I'll have to talk with the wife and the brother-in-law and kind of verify and narrow down that time and whatnot. But that is the plan. The plan is to stream out some D&D live for you guys. That's the plan. I apologize if I'm a little distracted. I guess I'm trying to do too many things at once. I'm also trying to think of what stuff to update you guys on. MS wise, it's been a decent day. Kind of standard amount of fatigue. I took a nap. Didn't get as long of a nap as I had wanted, but that's okay. And for the most part, really haven't had any pain today, so it's been good. Really haven't had any issues or anything like that. So yeah. Since we finished Dragon Age Inquisition, we'll more than likely be going to DA week, means 2 times a week. And then we still have a lot of stuff to do in Inquisition. There is post-game things to do in the game. So that is the next step. The next step is to do the post-game. And so what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably just end up labeling it as Dragon Age Inquisition post-game part, and then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I don't know what I'm going to be working on. Because I have not actually played the game past just beating the game. So it'll be interesting to actually go through and play through those experiences with you guys, because I haven't gone through those experiences as far as post-game stuff goes. So we will be doing post-game stuff next, but it's not gonna be the dominant game that I'm gonna be playing for Dragon Age. It is gonna be my secondary Dragon Age game, because my main focus at this point is gonna be Dragon Age Awakenings. That's gonna be my main push, is to go through that game. Right now I'm pretty much trying to do side quests. I'm trying to do anything to move the game along at this point. So right now I'm doing a great job of spinning my wheels and running around in circles, but on the upside I've been able to up my friendship with all of my party members to a pretty solid amount. So that's good. I don't know, one, if I'm going to pursue a relationship in Dragon Age Awakenings, but two, I don't know who my character can pursue relationships with. Right now there's only two female characters in the game that I would consider, and one of them I would just go after mainly because she's the same race, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, is I will pursue a relationship there if I can. So it'll be definitely interesting to see and watch as far as that goes. So Thursday again we'll be playing more Star Wars stuff. I'm gonna try and see what I can do as far as Star Wars Force Unleashed. I need to beat the game. I just am not terribly fond as far as spinning my wheels, because that's kind of what I've been doing, is I've been spinning my wheels. I've been trying to beat the same section for almost 2-3 months now. I'm not having much luck, and so I just need to see what I can do to just to beat the game. So that's kind of where that stands. We've got Magic and Witcher on Friday, Star Trek on Saturday, and Sunday is always an I don't know. Sunday will be something. I just don't know what it'll be, because I don't ever plan to game on Sunday. Usually I try and take Sunday as a day of rest, but I've kind of started to get into the habit of playing something on Sunday. And usually it's like Dragon Age Inquisition, or yeah, it's usually what it is. It's usually been Dragon Age Inquisition or Warframe. Is usually what it's been. So, and honestly, it might stay that. Just because they're great games and I love them, and Warframe's kind of a game where you just open up the game, decide what you're gonna do, and then just go for it and have fun and have a blast. So that's what I really like. I do like that there is an actual storyline. There is actual things to achieve. You do have items that you're trying to craft, and so you need to get materials for those particular items, and so there's stuff. There is stuff to do, and that is one of the things that I really actually like about Warcraft, is that there are things to do. It's not just mindless first-person shooter type thing. It's, you've got actual stuff to do. So I want to get back to this really quick. So the Dragon Age Inquisition video that I just uploaded, which is the Dragon Age end of the main storyline, is actually the end of the game with the audio, because something that I realized, even though that there's been 11 people who've actually watched the video and I've gotten 2 likes on it, so I'm actually pretty impressed as far as that goes. But the live Dragon Age, the end of the line, has no audio. None audio. No audio whatsoever. So if you actually want to know what Corypheus actually says, and if you want to hear the actual audio of what happens at the end of the game, and especially into the credits, you should definitely watch the the video that I just uploaded, because it will answer those questions. And it's really, really important that those questions get answered, because unless you actually took the time to talk to Meryl and actually do the side quest for Dragon Age 2, you would not understand the meaning of the thread that they actually put in at the end of the credits of Dragon Age Inquisition. The only other way to understand that tie-in is to have remembered from Dragon Age Origins, and you would have had to play a Dalish elf in order to actually get the connection. They actually make the connection in Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, but there were specific things you had to play in order to really get those. Which, and I guess in one way is kind of a good thing, but also kind of a bad thing in order to do that. But again, when you're playing Dragon Age, here's the thing to understand, especially when you play the first game. When you play the first game, you can play as a dwarf, noble, or as a duster, and those two have two different storylines. I have played dwarf noble. I have not played a dwarf outcast. I might play a dwarf outcast just to see the slightly different storyline that is there. But other than that, and I probably wouldn't even play a full playthrough of that, just because everything up to when you get to the camp at Ostagar, everything up to that point is different depending on whether you're a dwarf, an elf, or a human noble. Or, well, dwarf, elf, or human. And then there's slight variations depending on whether you're playing a dwarf noble or a human noble versus a dwarf non-noble, or whether you're playing a mage. So there's everything up to Ostagar. You get different story. You get a different background, because it's the background of your character and where you're coming from. After Ostagar, the rest of the events are exactly the same. There is no real difference other than how you play the game. And then the only other difference is at the end of the game is dependent upon whether you go sacrifice ending versus non-sacrifice ending. Those are the differences in Dragon Age Origins. For the most part, the story plays exactly the same. And then with Dragon Age 2, you start off as Hawk. There is no delineation storyline-wise. You are Hawk. The only difference is whether you are mage versus non-mage. That's it. Well, that's not entirely true. It is also because whether you play a mage or non-mage also determines on whether your sister dies or your brother dies. Once you're actually at Kirkwall, though, the storyline is the way that it is. And then again, the only difference is whether you decide to back the Templars or back the Mutants. So, I mean, there are differences in the storyline and how they play out, but it is dependent on what you choose. But when it comes to certain things, there are certain things that are predetermined. And in Dragon Age 2 pulls from your save file from Dragon Age Origins. So whatever you decided and how you beat the game in Dragon Age Origins is your world state in Dragon Age 2. The nice thing about Dragon Age Inquisition is that you go to the Dragon Age Keep, and then that determines your world state. So you can actually, if you didn't like the way certain things turned out, you can change certain things. So that's kind of cool as far as that goes. Because with Inquisition, I was wondering if they were going to do the same thing. I was wondering if they were going to pull from your save file from the previous two games. That's what that's what I was wondering what they were going to do. And I'm interested in Dragon Age 4. I wonder if they're going to do a Dragon Age Keep thing where you've already got your pre-established Keep stuff, and then they add in Dragon Age Inquisition, and then you mark the stuff for Inquisition, and then it further impacts from there. I think that would be their best way as far as doing things for Dragon Age 4, as far as establishing the world state. They've already got the Dragon Age Keep. You've already got your world state set for Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. All you'd have to do is fill in your decisions for Inquisition. Or have it where they pull from Dragon Age Keep and your save file from Inquisition. I think just adding in the additional slot in the Dragon Age Keep would be the best decision for them, but it's not my decision. So, anyways, all of that to get into today, because it is officially Wednesday. It is officially after midnight. It's currently 1:18 my local time. Today's my MRIs, and I gotta be honest, I'm nervous as hell. Every set of MRIs always makes me nervous. The main reason it makes me nervous is because there is a very large part of me that is afraid that my MS has gotten worse. And you would think I would notice if things got worse. And that's not always true, because a lot of the changes and a lot of the things are horrendously subtle. They're things that literally take me months to notice, if I even notice them at all. Some of the changes are really big changes, and I'm going, holy shit, okay, I think something might have changed. One of the things that I've noticed over the last couple days is my right hand has been tremoring far more intensely than it normally does. My left hand has always had a pretty steady tremor. This is pretty normal. It's annoying, and I work with it, and if I clench my hand or grab it, it stops. So, but I'm used to that with this hand. With my right hand, it's very, very subtle. I'm not even sure the camera can pick up on it, but if I let it go long enough, it becomes much more obvious. And again, it's the same thing. I either have to clench my fist, or even with my right, clenching my fist doesn't really work, because now my entire arm starts shaking, and I have to like clench the muscles to get it to stop or grab it to stop. So I do have some concerns. When I want to say about a week ago, when we were sleeping, my wife thought I was trying to wake her up, and it was actually my hand tremoring. So I am concerned that there may be one or two additional burnout sites where the damage has hit and is permanent. I'm concerned that there may be additional lesions, because there's that I'm aware of. There's 4 to 6 lesions on my brain, and there are, I want to say, 2 lesions on my spine, or 4 lesions on my spine. There's basically 2 to 4 lesions, head and spine. My head, I don't remember. I think my brain actually has 6. I think. I'd actually have to go back and pull old MRI report, the most current MRI report from a couple years back. Well, it's about a year and a half old. I have to have the MRIs done about once every 6 months, a year at the outside, just to keep an eye on my MS, just to see where it's at, see how it's affecting me, and things like that. So, to be honest, today's kind of a scary day to a degree, because they'll do the MRIs, and then it normally takes a couple days for them to get back to me as far as the results go. In Washington, they had a thing where I could log in, I could actually see the reports and read over the reports, and I could actually see what it is, and then I could talk to them. And the added benefit to that is then I could go and talk to my doctor and be like, hey, all right, so I read the report, here are my concerns, here's what's going on. Here in Colorado, to my knowledge, there is not an app, so I literally do not have access to my medical records. I don't have a digital copy of my records, which concerns me a lot because I'm used to that from Washington. So that's something that I'm going to need to actually talk to the system out here to find out if they've got a place where I can go to actually look at my reports, because that's actually very important to me, because there have been a lot of times where I've actually had to go and get a copy of my report, and I don't want to have to ask my doctor to get a copy of it. I'd like to be able to actually just pull the report and then give it to somebody. But here in Colorado, I may not be able to do that, which will be frustrating. I'm no longer having to prove that I am disabled. I have a disability, so which is one of the reasons, actually it's the main reason why I started this. So yeah, so today has some insecurity in it. One of my other concerns is while I'm doing the MRI, you have to be pretty much still. And I'm concerned that the tremors may kick in to the point where it might actually create an issue with the MRIs. That's actually one of my largest concerns, is that the tremors will be strong enough to a point where it'll create an issue. So that is a concern. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and kill it here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's always appreciated. And until the next time, this is Panther 0822. Peace out, guys. Have a good night.